flying turtle, so be careful. He's pretty stressed. Very pretty, very, very pretty. Oh, there he goes. He's a happy little camper of frogs.
And so he is called Durianrider, and you can figure out why if you know anything about durians. Durian is a very spiky fruit. For those of you who don't know, it's a big brown spiky fruit that we get shipped in here from Thailand. But there are other countries where it is natural to that area, like Thailand and Indonesia and Bali and Singapore and Chinatown. Well, Chinatown is shipped in, yeah. But it's a delicious fruit with a very custardy filling on the inside. And so Durianrider's talk tonight is on weight loss and fitness. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Ted.
Cheers. So I've got a little intimate crowd here. I don't have to be screaming my lungs off. I guess we can just do like a Q&A format. I guess everyone's got questions and they want to ask. So probably most people have already heard me ramble on about myself for a lot. Who hasn't seen any of my videos on YouTube?
Oh, I forgot to talk about that. All his videos. He's got like how many thousands of people watching your videos?
Yes, it's definitely YouTube's been doing well.
Yeah.
And I encourage everyone to start up a YouTube account, to share your experiences, to educate others, to learn from others. YouTube is a great medium to get your message out there. And I don't have a book out yet, but YouTube's allowed me to get my message out to people. So I highly encourage YouTube. I mean, it's a full-time job for me now, but it's a job of passion. So definitely YouTube's where it's at, 100%. It's good fun. Good fun. So we've got some questions, or we'll just go spontaneous. Yeah. So.
I'm just transitioning, and when I was at the festival, I got Doug's book before the festival, read parts of it, tried to transition, couldn't get past about 3 days. Just too much sugar, headache, blah, blah. At the festival, on day 4, it was just great. Came home, fell apart. So, just, anything, your own experience, your knowledge about transitioning. I know that's tough for more than just me. I've heard other people, that's a period when, I guess a lot of things come up. In my case, I'm sharing my house with people who eat, standard American food, and that makes it harder. And I think also just being at the festival where everybody was doing the same thing, just like this invisible support cushion that you weren't even aware of. It just made the flow go, and then once out of the bubble, it's just hard again. So,
So tips on, so you feel better eating this way?
Well, at the festival, I just felt great.
Yeah.
I felt great after I got past that 3-4 day period. I mean, I don't know that I've ever felt as even and clear and energetic and slept good, all those things. It's on that level.
For sure, I mean, it sounds like me. So if your goal is to eat fruit and vegetables, is come down to calories. I tell people all the time, like, I haven't had enough sleep the last 2 weeks. I'm half falling asleep now, but it's... So for me, I could just drift off to sleep and we'll drink coffee and treat the symptom, or I can treat the cause and get my sleep. So when we drift off our dietary goal, of fruits and vegetables, of raw vegan, whatever it is, if we drift off our goal, we've got to... It's not emotional or whatever, it's just calories. It's like when you're tired, you need rest, you need sleep. As you don't need coffee, you don't have a caffeine deficiency. We don't need emotional cleansing or healing to get more discipline as food. It's like the squirrels will eat other squirrels if they have to. They'll eat a blue jay or whatever. If they don't get enough food, I did a YouTube video about it. There's a squirrel eating a snake on YouTube. It's just hungry. It's attacking the snake and trying to eat it. And so it's well documented. So the tip for transitioning is to have enough calories. Because we're like we're animals, we're machines, we need the fuel. So it's very difficult. And it's just like today, Chris, Randall and I were riding around New York City on our bikes, and I've got the money in my wallet to find the right fruit. We were going from Whole Foods to Whole Foods, and we'd go to one place, the melon, I could only get one melon from a massive fruit shop, one melon that was right. And then we'd go to, we had the time to do that, it's just cruising out, but it's very challenging in society today to be able to find enough fruit calories. It can be very tough. And then people buy the fruit, it might not be right, it might not be quality, it might not be edible. So you've got like $2 worth of fruit, and then you go to eat it, and it's not ready yet, it's not ripe. Or it is ripe, and there's no calories in it, because it's just poor quality, there's no sugar there. So then we might be eating this unripe fruit or low quality fruit with no flavour, and we might get full on the water of the fruit, but we have no calories, so the body's going to go, whoa, let's go back to what we're doing the last 10, 15, 20, 40, 50 years, whatever. So the tip is calories would be the number one. And it's again very challenging, very challenging.
Yeah, I guess I don't have clear, how much fruit is it.
Eat as much as you want. That's what we say, 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day. At least 30 bananas a day, at least 2 pounds of dates a day.
Total?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
As a basis, like I tell people, find your favourite fruit, the fruit you just love, and then eat at least 2,500, 3,000 calories from it every day, which can be really tough, because you might go, okay, I love bananas. Well, there's no ripe bananas in Whole Foods, so I've got to buy a box of bananas in advance. So I've always got a box ripening up, which can be tough when you try it. So dates are good, or what I've been drinking a lot of is the Adwala Mango Tango juice, 64 ounce, 1,100 calories. It's always there. It's like a fruit treat that's in Whole Foods. It's always ripe. So it's always a good backup plan.
What's it called?
Mango Tango. It's a recipe from Adwala. So it's not technically raw because it's flash pasteurised, but it's fruit, it's vegan, and it gets the sugar in. Versus going back to what foods we've all sort of grown on and we're trying to get away from. So backup plans can be really important. So then what we could have is, say, we'll get to your question in a sec, we can have like a template. So this is our ideal, so bananas, dates, mangoes, grapes, melons, whatever. And then if we can't get there, have a backup plan. So it could be like a McDougall style, high carb, low fat vegan plan, which is still really good. I've done that for years, it's a great thing. Versus going back to standard American, standard Australian diet. And that way you just, you're bouncing between those two versus bouncing all the way back and having to take a month to recover, and because they're all getting all excessively fatted out.
McDougall's 80-10-10 cook, high
Correct.
starch.
Correct.
High cooked starch.
Correct.
If you were going to do that, would you do that at night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, and then have the starch for dinner. Because starches, they're light, but they're heavy compared to fruit. So having a big bowl of rice for lunch, a lot of people would just be like, oof, pretty heavy. That's the good thing about fruit. I mean, Chris was sitting in Central Park this morning, and we had at least, for the first meal, I don't know, 15 pounds or something melon
It's
each.
like 25 pounds of melon or something.
Yeah, each. And we're just sitting there, all these melons line up in Central Park, people are riding and running around past us going, what are you guys doing? Like, every lap, to take cyclists about 25 minutes to do a lap, and every time they come around, the more melons have been eaten, and our posture went from like this to more like this. And eventually Chris was laying on the ground, and people were just like, what's going on here? But it can be challenging to find enough. But we were eating so much fruit, we were so wedged, and I said to Chris, this is the only food you can eat where you can just pack it in and still be functioning afterwards. Other foods are just a lot heavier. So I'd say fruit would be the top one, followed by starches like rice, potato, pumpkin, things like that. And then down the bottom would be like animal products like meat, things like that. And then in the middle might be like nuts and seeds. But in terms of staple fruit's the best. But the starch program works as well. And I promote both. And over 11 years in this lifestyle with the high carb vegan thing, I definitely say fruit is number one. But have the backup plan of the starch for sure. Because plenty of people have reversed obesity, cancer, diabetes type 2 on the McDougall program. So I like to tell people, like, I've got a friend who's obese and still doing raw foods, and people always ask me, like, how come he's been doing raw foods for so long, yet he's still a big guy? And I said, Well, when he goes off the wagon, it's not to Rice or Odwalla Mango Tango, it's to Häagen-Dazs or Denny's, things like that. You know, and he lives in New Zealand, so he's eating a lot of fatty things when he gets hungry. But he thinks all cooked food's equal, so eating a pasteurised fruit juice is the same as eating a Big Mac. He says, Harley, I prefer the Big Mac, so I'll eat that. I'm like, well, that's why you're always going to be the obese raw foodist, because you don't have your backup plan. Your backup plan is like, you don't have a backup parachute, you just hit the ground. He doesn't, when he jumps out of the plane, he just hits the ground. There's no backup parachute. If his raw food parachute fails, he just hits the ground. So if he had a backup plan, then he would achieve his weight loss and health goals. So the two biggest problems with raw food lifestyle is situational inconvenience. You got the money, you got the time, where's the fruit? You know, we can all jump in a minibus and go and get 5,000 calories each at McDonald's. And where's the closest McDonald's around here? How far is it?
Oh no, there's one right here.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes away.
Exactly.
Right on 17.
And if we all wanted to have 5,000 calorie fruit meal, impossible.
10 in the morning when the store opens.
But even still, we go to the store and we're like, where's the bananas? Where's the right bananas? Where's the honeydew melons? Where's the right Santa Claus melons? Where's the quality dates that don't taste like plastic? It would be tough. So yeah, we could buy fruit, but then is it ripe? Is it edible? Is it tasty? So the biggest challenge is situational inconvenience, because our habitat destruction of fruit forests has been decimated really by commercial food, whatever you want to call them. So that's the biggest issue, situational inconvenience, can't find the fruit. You know what you want to eat, you know what it looks like, you got the money, whatever, you got the time, but you can't find it. Situational inconvenience. The second one would be social disapproval. So you're living with people, they're like, you're eating bananas again, what are you doing, you're crazy, you've got an eating disorder, that's too much potassium, where do you get protein from, what about calcium, what about B12, that's insane. I met a fruitarian one time and you know, he was naked dancing in the rain in Costa Rica. So the social disapproval can be really tough. That is the easier one out of the two to deal with for most people, I find. Because you can just go, oh, whatever. You can have fun with that. Situational inconvenience, you can't really have fun with that. Because you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat. This isn't fun. It's never really fun when you're starving. But social disapproval, you can definitely turn that one around and play with that, like in an instant. But situational inconvenience would be the biggest one. And that's why it's a steep learning curve. That's why so many people fall off this lifestyle. People say, oh, did you get enough protein or whatever? It's like, no, you just couldn't find the fruit, man. But it's something so simple, people don't want to admit it because it sounds dumb. It's like I went to the supermarket and I couldn't find anything to eat. And people go, well, there's fruit in the supermarket. It's like, well, it's not really. I mean, it's like, occasionally there's fruit that's edible. There's generally a lot of shiny, waxy things that are sold as fruit. But when you bite into them, it's like, yeah, can't eat that. So definitely situational inconvenience. But we'll get to all the questions here. You were waiting.
What about eating fruit that's not necessarily grown in this climate? So for us to eat bananas, but it's not grown here. Or to eat a lot of fruit in the winter when we're really supposed to be eating maybe foods that are supposed to warm us, like maybe onions or something, or garlic. So what do you do in that situation when you are indulging in pineapple, but necessarily you should be doing that if you live in the tropics?
I tell all my friends who say that when they say, Harley, you know, bananas don't grow in New York, onions and garlic grow here. And I'm like, have a meal of onions and garlic. You know, I'll stick with my banana date smoothie and the mangoes and stuff, and I'll give you the onions and garlic, you know, as much as you want. You know, so I think that we're definitely tropical creatures. We all enjoy sunshine, and you know, when we close our eyes and think of paradise, I think of like a, you know, the white sandy beach in the tropics with coconut fronds and mango trees and bananas and, you know, turquoise water. I think we all think of that, and that's paradise. For some people with maybe a medical issue, their idea of paradise might be digging in the snow bare feet with frostbite fingers, something like that. So we're equatorial creatures. We love sunshine, and fruits, they grow in sunny areas. The bananas all year long, papayas, the mangoes all year long in these areas. We're designed to live there. And when we move to Canada or Antarctica, we bring our environment with us. We wear clothing, so our body's always a nice, comfortable temperature. In a month's time, it gets cold here, yeah? So we turn the heating on, we put the jackets on, we bring the tropics with us. But then a lot of my friends might say, well, I'll do that, but when it comes to my diet, I'm not going to do that. But it's like, hey, but you're cooking your food, or you're doing whatever your food that's not what we've done anyway. People use the debate that it's not natural to eat foods that are grown outside of the area. And I always use the debate, it's not natural to wear clothing, it's not natural to live indoors, it's not natural to use heating, it's not natural to really cook your food, if they're going to use that debate. So it's not natural to use a car or Facebook or YouTube or me using money. The best health I see of people is when they eat the fruit-based lifestyle. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what temperature we live in. Like if you've got cancer or obesity and live in Alaska, and you go on this lifestyle and you can get enough fruit calories, you're gonna get better. The doctor, you won't get worse because you live in Alaska. Your body won't go, oh, fruit, oh, I can't eat fruit in Alaska because that means it's toxic because it wasn't grown here. It's like if you have a better analogy is like the animals in the zoo. You got bonobos in Australia, they feed them, what they eat in Africa. They feed them fruits and vegetables. If you got bonobos in Oslo, Norway, what do they feed them? Rye bread and fish sticks? No. They feed them the bonobo diet. Same with polar bears. Like, they feed them the fish. Like, they don't say, oh, the polar bear, you're in a region where we can't get fish, so if you've got a polar bear in the desert in Australia, they've got a few zoos and areas, they still ship the fish in. They don't feed them like nuts and berries or something like that. You got to eat what you got to eat, and humans are designed to eat this lifestyle. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you need to eat like a human needs to eat. And local foods are good, for sure. But if I lived on local foods in New York City, I wouldn't be doing this talk tonight, because I'd be probably wrapped up in a sleeping bag, like 110 pounds, just going, hey guys, like, I've got a Honeycrisp apple. I'm 200 calories a day, or I've done that before. I've tried to eat within a 50-mile radius, and I wasn't doing anything. I was eating local, but I could barely maintain my relationship. I could barely maintain my fitness. I couldn't maintain any internet presence. I couldn't answer emails because all I was thinking about was the next meal. I was just so starved. And local is good. If you live on a banana farm or whatever, and when I'm in Thailand, I can eat all local because everything's grown around us for sure. But again, we don't live in the fruit world, unfortunately. We live in the McDonald's world. So, and then by changing that, we keep buying the fruit, we keep supporting the fruit. So I think that the whole debate with where shouldn't be eating fruit because we're in the tropics is totally untrue. Karen?
Just wanted to say though that like in the winter months, even though I eat plenty of fruit, I notice that I really crave a lot the green leafy vegetables, much more so. And I end up having loads of greens throughout the winter. And the years that I didn't earlier on, I would get really severe cracks along the sides of my mouth. And when I started eating all those greens in the winter, the cracks went away and I feel good during the winter. So I eat fruits and the greens.
For sure.
During the winter.
Yeah.
In the summer, I mean, like I eat much more fruit than I do in the colder weather.
Yeah.
And I feel good.
Definitely.
I feel good all year.
Yeah. It's, I mean, personally, I don't like the cold weather. I can handle it more than ever before, but just when we got at the car, it was raining before, I'm like, I don't like this. I haven't had a full winter since 2002. I'm just like, I can do it, but I don't want to do it. I want to have sunshine every day. I want to wear shorts and t-shirt and feel the heat. Obviously, not everyone can just get up and go, but definitely the winter now. Winter sucks. But there's people out there who like my friend John Kozak, who use the winter as like a challenge, and they put more clothing on, they get outside, they have their bananas, they have their dates, and they're in London, Ontario, and they're doing it. So definitely it can be done. It can be done. Don't think that, oh, I can't, go to Thailand now or whatever. It can be done anywhere, especially in North America. Once you learn where to get your fruits from, things like that. But sourcing some good fruit is the biggest thing. It's like if you've got a little pet lemur, or a pet, just some little pet animal, it needs a special diet, that's what you become. You've got to look after yourself and find your little special little foods. It can be challenging at the start because you don't know, you're like, this is new, I don't know where to go. But over time you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. So when you first get into cycling or painting or dancing or whatever, you need a new product. There's no dance shop in my town, there's no cycling shop in my town, but then eventually you start to learn where they are, or you can go online or whatever. This is a steep learning curve at the start. So don't beat yourself up too much at the start. It's very steep. And it's very steep, but you're very simple. Find the fruit and then eat it.
It's a good model.
Yeah.
I saw one of your YouTube videos where you address, I guess, a lot of raw food gurus being raw and then switching over to, I guess, a different diet, and then saying that raw foods is not good for you. Could you talk about that? Because there's a lot of people that are saying that, the raw food diet isn't good for you, that you have to either eat meat or, eat cooked foods, and there's a lot of negative information out there.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the person. Like, you got any gurus in particular you think of? Like, anyone's name come up?
You had Daniel Vitalis.
Daniel, yeah. So I guess Daniel Vitalis, I've got nothing personal at Daniel. Actually, he's got some good things to say about like spring water and that.
Yeah.
Daniel Vitalis is a good one because if you look at what Daniel Vitalis says, he says, it's a direct quote, I literally lived on kale, olives and coconut oil, something like that. So he's just getting most of his calories from fat. And definitely that raw food lifestyle is going to drop you off the deep end. Like, totally. And that's why Daniel Vitalis is so anti-raw food, because that's what he did. And then he did a fruitarian spiel where he lived on like a box of grapes for a few weeks or whatever. And I did a video about that. I added up his exact calories based on what evidence he provided. And he's on like 700 calories a day or something like that. He's on a very low calorie diet. Guaranteed to have you back at eating steak burgers like he does now. And that doesn't make him a bad person, but we can learn from people like that when you undereat, you're going to get hungry, you're going to go back doing other things. And if your identity is in the raw food movement or whatever, making money off that, you're not going to turn around and go, oh, I just didn't eat enough. You're going to say, no, I'm good, I'm a champion, that thing doesn't work, this is blah, 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 it's dangerous. Instead of going, well, why did I mess up? So I don't have anything against Daniel Vitalis, I think he's a cool guy, but definitely doesn't really want to share why he failed. Like, he doesn't want to admit that he made a mistake. And he just rather blanket say, oh, the raw vegan lifestyle doesn't work. Like, meanwhile, plenty of people eating vegan lifestyle and succeeding. Children, bodybuilders, athletes, runners. I won 2 races in New York, running races last week. There's 3 running races in New York City. I won 2 of them last week. Yesterday I won one in Roosevelt Island. And the closest competitor was 3.5 minutes behind me. So if the vegan lifestyle, raw food lifestyle didn't work, the high carb one, then I couldn't be winning running races at all. Especially since it's only trained maybe 20% of the volume of the average, fast runner. So it's definitely a testimony. So the raw food gurus, a lot of them are into breatharianism. And so they just, I was reading Paul Neeson's book before, and he's talking about, you got to try and eat less, try and eat less, try and eat less. And I'm like, and Paul Neeson, he's a great guy, but here's another person who said, oh, the raw food doesn't work. So it doesn't work if you starve yourself. If you eat like an anorexic, that won't work.
But he also wanted to, he felt it wasn't working for him, so he started eating all this dairy, raw dairy. He tried to stay raw, but he started eating more and more animal products. He got sick. He came back to it. Now, if you see any of his recent videos, he's like raw vegan.
Yeah.
So he went off. I mean, he's an example of somebody who went way off and came back pretty quickly. He went off for about a year, I think. And there's others like that too.
Yeah, Paul Neeson was actually the full-on raw food book I read back in 2002, and I remember reading it thinking, this guy's wacko, like breatharianism, like doesn't make any sense. But I kept reading it and thought, well, maybe I'll try that, you know. I'd eat very little and just going back to the vegan restaurant and smashing down 5 tofu burgers at a sitting. I still have the record today because the guy I know, he owns that vegan cafe in Adelaide, Australia, and I see him now and then. I say, Robin, do I still got the record? He goes, yep, still got the record. That was back in 2005 now, I think. So I would have these periods of trying to do raw food on very little calories because I want to be puritarian or whatever. And then I'd try that even though I knew it was stupid, but I'd do it anyway and get so hungry and just, you know, go to the vegan cafe and just chow down. It wasn't a burger, it was like 5 burgers. I was just so hungry, you know. And I'd feel shocking afterwards because you eat 5 tofu burgers in a sitting, you don't feel too good. But my body was just going, give me the calories in, give me the calories, this is survival, we're starving, just grab it and eat it. So I had vegan ethics, fortunately, but a lot of people don't have the ethics at all. They're just like, well, I'll eat whatever. If you get hungry enough, your ethics are going to crumble. Just like if you've got a 10-year-old child in a candy store who's been raised really well, don't steal, don't cheat, whatever. So in the candy store locked up overnight accidentally, they're not going to eat anything the first 2 hours. But eventually the hunger is going to come a knocking, and they're going to see the chocolate there, and they're like, I'm the only one in the shop, and there's chocolate there. They're going to eat it, because the body overrides the ethics and morals eventually, 99.9% of the time. And then you have people who die, like people try the breatharian thing, and they're really strict and disciplined, and they die, unfortunately. I had a housemate in Australia, she died doing like a water fast. So it's, yeah, definitely I like to promote why people make mistakes and how to overcome them. Because as an athlete, someone who's raced in Europe and cycled a lot, it's all about, like, you break down the race and go, okay, why didn't it go to plan today? So you've got to break it down, hour by hour. Break it down, or even second by second, you're breaking the race down. But what strategy didn't work today? So now bring that over into the raw food world or weight loss world, and I go, why didn't that person get that goal they're looking for? Oh, this is why. They didn't eat enough, and then they went back to Denny's or things like that. Or they're continually getting late nights and just blew their adrenal glands out, and no wonder they were, failing. So I like to highlight people's mistakes with the intention of spreading the message out there so others don't have to learn from learn from their mistakes. They can learn from our mistakes. If that makes sense. So you don't have to keep failing at the race. All you have to do is just, learn from others. John?
And how seriously should you pay attention to the online food diaries, like meter and such? I mean, if you're consuming what feels like enough food, and you go on there, it's telling you you need 13% or something, so I take that seriously.
Yeah, I mean, all those chronometers and the online calorie guides, they're like a ballpark figure. So they're heading you, that's the direction you want to head in. Get your 3,000, 10,000, whatever you need, based on your lifestyle, based on what you want to be. If you want to be a high energy person, smashing the extra calories, definitely. Definitely live with passion. And so the chronometers, like someone's emailed me, Harley, I've only got 89% of my calcium today. I'm like, well, all plant foods have got to be grown on different soils, different types of the year, different freshness, different ripeness, different farming methods. So for a USDA database to have exactly 89% RDA for calcium that day from that, it's not accurate at all. It's ballpark figure, but it's not 100% ever, because you got bananas grown in the US. I can get bananas from Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Mexico, maybe Florida, and they're all going to have different nutritional spectrum, different soil, different variety, different time of year, different freshness. So that's the beauty of eating a variety of the seasons and simplicity during the meal time, so you get a good digestion, variety of food over the years, and you get enough. So the chronometers I wouldn't worry about the minerals and vitamins as much as I would the calories. Because you want to get enough calories in whole plant foods, you're going to get enough nutrition, especially if you're eating a variety over the year. So you're getting the mangoes in the mango season, and you get your bananas as a staple, and then you're getting organic, and you're getting them organic from Mexico, organic from Peru, organic from Bolivia. So you're getting that variety. It's really awesome. Thanks.
Is there any fruit that's better for recovery, and how much time do you suggest would be optimal for recovery and rest time?
Depends Depends what sort of session you're doing. Because like as a runner, or you're talking about wrestling? Yeah, so you can do like a 5-minute wrestle session. How much recovery you need? Or you can do like a 7-hour full-on wrestling. The recovery time is going to be a lot different. So it depends on the person, depends on their fitness level, depends on their lifestyle. Because someone who's training full-time, who can go back to bed and lay down 20 hours a day like a Kenyan marathoner can, they're going to recover a lot quicker. But someone's got like a family and a business and juggling all these things, their recovery is going to be a lot less able than someone who's got full-time just sitting back and resting in bed. So no one can answer that question really, because it's like what they say, it depends on the person's fitness, their current fitness, their background, their lifestyle, how many calories they're going to have that day, things like that. The bottom line is aim for 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day as a minimum on any day, and that'll help your glycogen restores be restored. 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day as a minimum, and that's really good.
Does that translate to calories or something?
Per calorie.
Oh, yeah, 1 gram of carbs is 4 grams. All you have to do is go, this is really simple, what's your favourite fruit, or if you're eating rice, potatoes, what's your favourite carbohydrate source, work out how many grams of carbs are in that per pound. So that's, let's say you're eating dates. A pound of dates is about 450 grams. You know, it's about 400 grams of carbs in there. So you just measure your food out. It sounds complicated, but it's very simple. I'm always using the kilogram guide. But 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day. Let's say let's go with bananas. A 150-pound person is going to eat around 750 grams of carbs per day. That's around 35 bananas a day.
So if you're 100 pounds, you need 5,000 grams?
No. 500 grams.
500 grams.
Yeah. So it's 5 grams.
That's for the whole day?
Yeah.
Now you keep on mentioning banana, mango, and dates. Is that your main staple of food?
Definitely. Because they're high calorie and they're easy to get.
You eat that morning, noon, and night?
Yeah. Definitely.
You don't get sick of?
I get sick of it. I get sick of everything when I've had enough. Like when I've had enough sleep, I get sick of it. When I've had enough food, I get sick of it. When I've had enough water, I get sick of it. When I've had enough cycling, I get sick of it. When I've had enough sun. That's the body saying, all right, we're done.
And what do you back it up with?
More. What do you mean, like?
What food do you switch to once you get sick of eating bananas and mangoes and dates?
Well, that means I've finished the meal. I never get sick of them. I might get sick of them in a meal, but I won't get sick of them like in a week, ever.
Well, I just mean over the long run, if you eat the same thing all the time, you kind of get your fill of it and you need to switch to something else.
I don't. I just make sure I'm eating quality. Because when you're eating quality fruit, it's like you do it every day. It's not when you're getting quality sunshine or whatever. But I hear what you're saying. When I used to eat poor quality fruit, I'm like, oh, this is yuck. Or you're eating really good stuff. Every time you want to eat, you're eating it again. It's just incredible.
What do you mean by quality?
Quality, like tasty.
That's the advantage of going to the farmer's market, because I'm so spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, it just tastes so delicious that you're satisfied. With watermelons right now, I don't know. Pretty good.
Yeah, so like this morning we were eating the Santa Claus melon and the honeydew melon and the Charlene melon.
Yeah.
Are these from Whole Foods?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with the farmer's market, I work at the farmer's market, and I would just ask the farmer first where it's imported from, because most of the time you take the stickers off of the fruit, so it looks like it's from the farm, and it's not. So they have me take off. I'm telling you,
Are you allowed to tell us which
if you
market
ask,
you
It's
work?
all of them.
If you ask,
the farmer's market isn't a quality place. I mean, this
Which
whole
market?
concept, most
any
of them.
market, any
When
market,
I
if
go
you
to
just
different
ask the farmer, they'll be
markets,
honest with you.
It's not organic. They lie and they'll tell you that we don't use pesticides. And a lot of the stuff is just shipped from other places. They don't grow it
So
themselves.
that's just business.
Yeah. Personally, I don't care where it comes from, as long as it tastes good. I don't care if someone's changed the sticker or what is it. That doesn't. My body doesn't care about that.
So is there a way you can inject the fruit to enhance it and have it not be natural but have it taste good?
No way. Like, I used to think that as well, but I've travelled around the world. I've spent time on fruit farms. You know, I've literally travelled around as a fruit addict, and I've some of the best fruit in the world. You can't grow tasty fruit with chemicals. It tastes crap.
Not exactly taste, but you can make a fruit last longer, or you can make
But
it
it's gonna
look
but it's gonna
better.
taste crap.
That's true.
It's fake fruit.
So if you can make it look better, why can't you make it taste better?
Because you can't force nature like that. Like it's like like you can do facial surgery or augmentation, but it's not natural. You can make it look like it's natural, but it's not natural. You can make a fruit look, wow, looks the apple's so red and shiny. Bite into it, oh, it's hard, yuck. So you can't make fruit taste better with chemicals, in my opinion. I've spent time on farms, and the fruit that tastes the worst is the one that's got the most chemicals on it. And the reason why I buy organic most of the time, because generally organic tastes better. Not always, but generally, especially if it's been picked right. So the whole farmer's market, oh, it's not for local, I don't care as long as it tastes good. Because when I buy fruit, I don't buy it for where it came from. And that's a bonus, yeah, all that stuff's all good, but I want to eat it. That's why I buy food, not really anything else. I just want to eat it.
So if something weren't good, like the apple I started tonight, I was going to juice it tomorrow, but you wouldn't even juice it. You would just chuck it in the compost.
Chuck it, give it to the squirrels. It's like, there's no calories there. There's no, if it doesn't taste good, there's no nutrition there, really. Like, nature's saying, don't eat this, it's crap. But like, there's no calories. If you eat this food, you won't fill up, you'll get, you want, the sweet fruit in nature is the one that continues. Because the animals eat that. That's the calories, so that animal has the calories to go and find a mate, defend its territory. The animal, the squirrels around here, the squirrels that can't defend the territory, they get ousted out. They get kicked out of the tree. Or the squirrel has got more calories. Because it takes energy to fight in nature. We don't live in that, obviously, but if you use that model, you can quickly see, okay, the importance of tasty fruit. And then you go to the supermarket and look at people eating, and they're like, there's no calories there. People might say, that's crazy, Harley, but when you do this lifestyle a while and you see what's going on, and you see what people fail, because they're eating like an apple, it's like, you eat that, wow, I can't eat that. So that's why things like bananas and dates are so good, because they're generally really consistent. John?
I've worked on local organic farms and the markets over the last 8 years, and you can trust some of the vendors. I mean, if you befriend farmers, they will tell you which vendors are doing what this woman is talking about. It's just, they don't have signs, they're not coming from farms, they're just buying stuff from distributors and presenting it, and it's, buyer beware. But I went to the Union Square Market on Saturday before the Fruit Luck, and I know half of the farmers there, and I would say probably 75% of them are trustworthy. It's coming from their farms. I mean, I picked in the fields and shipped it to the markets, for the next day, 3 different seasons. I mean, it's not all vendors are doing that.
Yeah,
Well, it depends on the market, because some of them have managers who visit the farms, and the rules of the market are you can only sell what you grow. But there are markets I go to where I was shocked, because that's how I was raised around here, that they grow it, but there are many places that don't. But I've never heard.
It's the same food in the stores. I mean, they can sell whatever they want. You have to ask them.
That's why the taste, I don't care if it's organic or biodynamic, whatever. I just want to eat something that's tasty. Yeah, I prefer the organic because it's better for the environment. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to buy food to put it on the table and take a photo of it. I want to eat it and I want to be satisfied.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing is, and the reason why I go organic is most of the time it tastes better. Yeah, and it's a bonus. But taste is what it's all about. Like, Mike Arsen I'm staying with, he bought some grapes. And I put them in my hand. I thought, wow, are these organic? They look organic. They look like the grapes I have in Australia. And he says they're not. And I tasted them, and it's like soap. Yeah. Looks good, but just, oof. How are you going to eat that? Like, it's inedible. So, if they were organic or biodynamic, it wouldn't matter. They're inedible. Can't eat them. It's sour grapes. Picked way too early. James?
You've done a couple of videos on the B12 levels, and I was just wondering, for especially for myself, who's fairly new in this, maybe you could demystify the B12, the dreaded B12 deficiency a little bit.
A lot of people say the vegan diet's not natural because you get B12 deficient, and only vegans get B12 deficiency, which is like, that's like, say, a car driver saying,
It's like so much.
yeah, car drivers and safe, only cyclists have accidents. You know, everyone has accidents. Anyone can have a B12 deficiency. Anyone at all. So for someone to say, oh, I can't do vegan because I get B12 deficient, it's like, I can't ride a bike because I might have an accident. I'm going to drive a car instead. It's whenever someone says that to you or whatever, you know that they have really no idea, or they're hiding behind like an urban myth. That's all it is. Because I've got friends who do steroids and doing B12 injections as well, like I do. They're eating meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they need to do the B12 shots to get their levels up to what they want. So anyone can have a B12 issue. Anyone at all. So my tip is, if you're concerned about it, do B12 supplementation. What do? I do B12 shots. And I'll give them out to a lot of people before, and always with positive, either neutral or positive. No one's saying negative. It's neutral. I don't feel anything. But some people go, wow, the weight's just dropped off me now, just leaning right up. So B12 injections is what I promote.
How often?
Well, it depends on the person. Yeah, once every 2 months. It depends. So I tell people, work with your doctor on that one. Do your own homework. And make your own conclusions.
So how do you feel if you don't take it?
I don't notice any difference, personally. I'm paid for, I do, but physically I don't.
Is this over the counter? You don't need a doctor? Or do you?
Depends what country you live in. I think the US is prescription only. Thailand.
Ordered online though too.
Okay.
Do you feel deficient in any way?
No.
So what about for the people that do? Then they should take the shot. But what if they don't feel anything and they still feel deficient? What do they do from there?
Well, it depends. I go by paperwork. What's your homocysteine level? What's your urinary MMA?
Get the MMA,
Yeah, so
the urine.
which they can be really expensive to do. All I tell people is, if you've got a history of Crohn's disease, drugs, if you're an athlete, if you want to lose weight, if you've got a lot of high stress, maybe do a course of B12 shots, see if you feel better. Most people do. It's can be a lot cheaper than getting all these tests and stuff around with that. So again, there's a good book to read called Could It Be B12? And that's pretty comprehensive. It's an easy read. Could it be B12? And go from there.
Karen mentioned greens. What's your what do you do with the greens? Do you do as much as
Greens?
Graham says? He says eat like a head of lettuce a day or something like that.
Very hard to find good greens in Australia. Very tough. I eat more greens than in the US because they're easy to find here. Australia, you struggle to find edible greens, except for maybe some of the weeds, some of the tender weeds. But my favourite green would be lamb's quarter, which is a wild weed, and iceberg lettuce, nice tender greens, celery. I don't eat a pound of greens a day.
You don't?
No. I think it's, if you can, for sure, but I find that too difficult. When I want salty stuff, then I eat greens, for sure. I'll smash down 2 heads of lettuce or whatever. But I don't eat greens daily. I think if you can, that's good, if that's what you want to eat, for sure. I just focus on the fruit. But I do eat greens. I do eat nuts and seeds, for sure. But I don't get the greens in every day.
So do you kind of wait till you're hungry for nuts or seeds or greens before you even think about it?
Nuts and seeds I rarely eat. I rarely eat those, maybe once a month or something like that. But greens I'll eat, once a week or so. Whenever I'm craving something salty, crispy maybe. Greens can add the fresh element to your diet. When all the fruits may be imported or whatever, the greens can be that fresh thing that's just been plucked from the garden, or literally plucked from the curbside with the purslane or lamb's quarter. So the greens can give that freshness to your diet. If everything's from the supermarket or farmer's market, it's not that super fresh, the greens can give a little bit extra. I do think greens are part of our natural diet, especially the tender greens. The dandelions and those things that make your face go, I'm not sure about that one, but there's plenty of tender greens out there that are nice and tasty. And people just got to find I I've got a little, on my little iPod here, I've got an app by Sergei Batenko, Finding Wild Edible Greens. And that's a good one. So, and that was like a couple of bucks. Right.
Do you know if they have that lamb's butter in Whole Foods?
Doubt it.
Doubt it. So
Farmers
really-
market.
Is that type of like a leaf or something?
You can get them right here on Sundays at the Ramsey Farmers Market. Guy Jones, the organic farmer, he's got lamb's quarter every week.
He's the best, you don't get better.
Sunday,
than
right
Guy
here in
Jones.
town.
I like the taste of it. Some people don't like the taste of it, but I find it's very mild. So if you don't like the taste of it, don't eat it. But you'll often find it might be growing in your garden, or your friend's garden, or your nana's garden, or it might be growing in the park. So try and find it away from the roadside and away from any council spraying. And yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Can you talk a little bit about how your fitness improved when switching from standard to vegan to fruits and vegetables, and also how weight loss was involved?
Me, yeah, I didn't really have much of a weight loss transition. Chris Randall's dropped 150 pounds on the lifestyle, so Chris is more of a weight loss man there. From personal experience, I've definitely seen a lot of things happen. That's why I can give experience and share advice there. Fitness benefits, when I was eating standard Australian diet, I was doing the paleo diet as well, on and off, and just shocking fitness, just constipated, running on caffeine all the time, just big black circles under my eyes, just always moody, you know, Crohn's disease was going crazy. And I wanted to be fit, I liked cycling, I always wanted to be fit and run marathons, but I just didn't have energy to, unless I was jacked on caffeine, and I still couldn't really perform that well. And then once I went vegan, my levels just, energy just went crazy. I started running marathons and just going nuts. And then with the fruit thing, just noticed it an extra little bit more recovery-wise, definitely. And I found the lower protein I ate, the faster my recovery was. And I've experimented like a bit of tempeh or tofu or nuts and seeds, increasing my protein. My recovery isn't as good. When it's just fruits and vegetables, early nights and water, it's crazy recovery. And modern day athletics is yet to get onto this program. Because right now it's about steroids and growth hormones and EPO and a lot of other pharmaceutical drugs for recovery. But once they get onto the fruit and vegetable lifestyle, they'll see recovery even more. Definitely. Especially with the running and cycling. But healthy eating won't replace the drugs. So like, if you get someone like Lance Armstrong, you know, doped to the gills on all the best drugs, and you put him on a healthier lifestyle, he'll go up more. But you get someone who's doing no drugs and eats healthy, they won't go to the drug level. But if you combine the drugs and the health eating, they go up. Not that I'm promoting drugs, I'm just saying that's obviously what professional sports is about. If you're not on drugs, they're like, well, what are you doing here? You got the wrong door, mate. It's out there. Because you just can't keep up. You know, it's like trying to race a Ferrari on your bicycle. It's like no hope. Maybe in the parking lot.
The cancer issue, because there are many raw fruitists who are mostly promoting greens and saying fruit isn't good for cancer because the sugar accelerates it. Do you have information on that or
Yeah, well,
experience?
No one can live on greens, because greens have hardly any calories in there. Like I bought a juice yesterday for $10 in New York City, a green juice. Just wanted to support the vegan shop. Bought a green juice, $10, maybe 50 calories. And I was just laughing with Chris. I'm like, people just eat greens, no fruit. But I was like, no one does that. Can't do that. Like you can do a juice fast, but that's not a diet. That's like a fast. It's not sustainable. People who say fruit gives you cancer, it's like, well, that means our forum should be full of people going, well, I've got cancer all of a sudden. You know, Doug Graham should be dead a long time ago. I should be dead. Like I eat more fruit in maybe in 2 or 3 days than the average US citizen or Australian citizen eats in a year. I'd say, on average. When you think about it, like how many boxes of bananas or whatever, or how much does the average US person eat? It's not much. So if fruit was the cause of cancer, that's just such a stupid thing for them to say, but they say it. It's like saying marathon running is the cause of obesity. This is total insanity. But there's people out there who don't understand, don't know that, and just go, oh, Dr. such and such said that, so it must be true. And then if they pull back the curtain and go, wow, look at these thousands of dollars of supplements every month this doctor sells, and don't eat the bananas because they're bad, don't eat bananas because they're imported, but all these things are from China. Oh, well, actually China's a part of Nebraska or whatever. Like, it's charlatans. Then again, there's maybe some sincere people that are just sincerely wrong. So it'd be a combination of charlatans and a group of sincere people who are sincerely wrong, who are just reading versus looking. That's my opinion.
Do you supplement at all?
Just the B12.
Just the B12?
Yeah, so no protein powders, no calcium, no zinc, nothing else, just the B12. Because I was running low on the test and I lacked an intrinsic factor. And I didn't supplement for years, and I felt fine. I was still winning bicycle races. And then a doctor friend of mine said, Harley, I reckon your hemoglobin level could go up a little bit more. I can do a course of shots. So there you go. So I didn't really feel better. I started performing better, but I wasn't sure if that was directly because of that. It could have been because I started sleeping more, getting more calories. So that's the only supplement I take. That's the only one I promote. Everything else, in my opinion, is a waste of time and money.
What about D3?
Yeah, so I take that back. D3 could be done if you're living in the cold winter areas. The
What
vitamin
about
D3.
like up here, like sometimes the winter can be, a lot of the days can be gray, and then even when you do go out, sometimes you can't get a lot of good sun.
I mean, there's a big debate in the health world about that. Some people say D3 is toxic, some people say it's safe, some people say use a solarium, some people say don't use a solarium. Me, I just go hit the sun. And I'm going to leave that up to the individual to decide what they want to do when it comes to vitamin D.
Take your vacation in the winter time.
Yeah.
Is there a light you can use indoors, something?
I'm sure there is a solarium.
Full spectrum?
Yep.
Yeah, full spectrum solarium.
Anything as long as it's a UVB res.
UVB?
Yeah, that's what synthesizes vitamin D in the skin.
But in Australia, we have vitamin D deficiency rampant because everyone's paranoid of the sun. So in Australia, like, all the kids are getting full clothing and big hats and sunscreen, and the kids are getting rickets, vitamin D deficiency.
Really?
Yeah, in Australia, like the sunny country. So it's
Everybody's covering up.
yeah. So definitely sunshine is important. And then you say people, oh, but vegans don't get enough vitamin D. And I'm like, oh, the vegan who lives in the mother's basement and doesn't go outside, maybe, but it's not because they're a vegan, it's because they're living in a basement. So but people always say that, you won't get enough vitamin D if you're vegan. I'm like, get outside in the sun. It's nothing to do with diet, it's sunshine. Because if it was, then all these Australian kids eating meat and dairy and sausage sizzles wouldn't get rickets. Sun is the solution. So get some sun. If it's in Ontario, it can be challenging. I don't know, I'd just get out of there.
How much sun do you need?
Just enough so you don't get burnt. Don't burn up, but just get...
Well, you don't want to get burned.
Yeah, so depends on the person. Like an African person with dark skin, nice skin, will have a lot higher sun tolerance than someone like me, who can be albino sometimes. So you got to, how much sun? It depends based on the person's genetics and their current level of tan.
When you're in Australia, you go all day without a shirt?
Well, it depends what time of year, it depends where in Australia you are. So, sometimes of the year I can, if I've got a tan on my back, but if I do that after no sun exposure, I'll end up like a baked banana. So you want to be smart with it and just maybe start with 5 minutes a day, and just come inside. How's my skin look? Oh, it's a bit rosy. So it depends on your skin type as well.
When you eat the bananas, do you mix them with the mango and the dates?
Generally, I have what's called the mono meal, just one type of fruit at a time. I just done. But sometimes I mix bananas and mango, bananas and dates. I mix that sometimes. But generally, like I was eating, the melons. The melons today was so good, you don't want to mix them with anything else. Or the bananas can be so good, you don't want to mix it with anything else. Or the dates, when the dates are good, you don't want to eat anything else with the dates. You just want to eat dates.
How many calories per gram?
Of which?
Well, anything per gram. You said it's 5 grams, less than in calories.
Well, a gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories.
What's 4?
But if I said to you 20 calories per pound of body weight per day, you go, great, I'm going to eat 20 calories from Big Macs. So it's more about the carbohydrate focus. And when your carbohydrate focus is whole plant foods, being fruit, then automatically you'll get enough fat, you'll get enough protein if you focus on the carbohydrates. So if you get your carbohydrates from white refined sugar, that'll give you energy, but you won't get any nutrition from that. That makes sense. So that's why I promote the carbohydrates, and then promote the carbohydrate foods, being fruit the best one, starches as a backup plan. But if you get enough calories from fruit, you automatically get enough protein, you get enough fats.
You want them to get enough calories, you probably have to eat all day long.
Yeah. No, but I mean, if you're in Central Park watching what you did today, but no, you don't, because I can eat 5,000 calories a day in half an hour. 10-minute meals, just drinking Gatorade. But if you're eating watermelon, then yeah, it might take you a while. If you're eating locusts or clementines, it might take you all day long.
You juice at all?
Rarely. I'll drink juice, but I rarely juice, because juice is very low in calories. So I like the smoothie because the smoothie's got the calories there. So I can blend up 15 or 20 bananas with the water, blend it up, have it on my desk, be working at the computer just sipping. So the reality is this lifestyle takes a lot less time eating because you can just make the food quick like that and be working and eating at the same time. Definitely.
When you juice, don't you lose
Unless you're a
calories?
surgeon. When you juice, you lose calories. You're losing fibre, losing nutrients. I wouldn't recommend juicing as a consistent thing because the whole food's better than the refined food. Juice is okay, but whole food's better. Smoothies are better than the juice because the smoothie's got everything in there.
You Vitamix?
I don't actually own a blender, but I'll use a Vitamix. I'll use any blender. Vitamixes are good because Vitamix got a strong motor, it's got a 10-year warranty. In Australia, Vitamix costs $1,100. How much they cost here? Like, you know.
It's about $4.50.
Yeah, so they're so cheap here. I bought one from my people I'm staying with. Like Vitamix here, your kitchen is a Vitamix. Just buy one for you.
Wow.
It's just so cheap here. So any blender is good. Vitamix being strong and Vitamix being good for the green smoothies. So I'd give the Vitamix the top crown, but any blender is better than no blender.
Do you,
At the festival, Adam, he drinks just juice, but he drinks 2 gallons a day.
Adam.
Adam is from California. He's been 2 years on juice only.
Adam. Who was Adam?
Oh, I met a guy who told me he drinks
But
that.
to juice 2 gallons, it takes forever.
Yeah, well, if that's what you want to do. Who was Adam? I'm trying to think who Adam was.
He's a photographer? Taking pictures?
Yeah, I think so.
He worked in the kitchen, I think, yeah, I think he did.
Got the red hair, taking pictures a lot.
Wire
Oh, that's no way, man.
Did you see the guy with red hair and wire glasses?
Yeah.
Just juice for 2 years, no way. No.
That's what he said, he drinks a lot. I spoke to him because I...
Yeah, a lot of juice. Like some people think I just eat bananas because I eat a lot of bananas, but
Thing is,
no.
with juicing, you
Right.
don't get no fiber.
Yeah, but he's not just drinking juice for 2 years, man. No one is.
He said he drank...
But you can drink a lot of juice for 2 years, but not just juice. Like
No,
this.
I think just strictly greens.
Yeah, again, that's BS. It's not true. Maybe he eats a lot of juice. Maybe there's a loss in translation there. But no one's doing 100% green juice every day for 2 years for 100% of the calories. Impossible.
And he was eating fruit. I was in the kitchen. He was eating fruit. He was eating fruit. I was in the kitchen with him.
Oh, yeah?
Now, do you do savory food and what about like buckwheat, stuff like that?
Buckwheat for me tastes like plasterboard.
Sprouts or something like that?
Yes, I'll eat, if someone makes a salad with me, I'll eat sprouts. Yeah, definitely. I don't make it part of my daily diet, but I'll eat it.
Mhm. And then you do the savory fruits like cucumbers and...
One of my favourites is, learned that from Chris, is slice the cucumber pretty thin, nice, good quality, tasty cucumber, and then put half a date on top. Put that in, that's really good. It's like the savoury element of the cucumber with the strong, passionate sugar of the date. It's a good combination.
It tastes like chocolate. It's excellent.
It's, yeah, it's,
Dates and cucumbers?
yeah.
It's like
Just, yeah, little slices of cucumber and put that on top. That's a really good one.
What
So-
about ginger? Some people say ginger is good and other people say, I heard at the festival it upsets your intestinal flora.
Yeah, I think ginger's like, if you have it now and then, it's not going to be an issue, but if you're trying to have it, I think ginger, when you taste ginger, The only time ginger tastes good is when you've got to mix some heaps of sugar. Otherwise it's like, what? So I think eating anything that makes your face twist up is probably not the best thing. Despite what thousands of years of people say, it's like, well, it tastes like crap, so I don't know how good it is. And what often people are doing is it better for digestion. They're eating junk anyway, so it's like, I think we always want to treat the cause versus the symptoms. People don't have a ginger deficiency. They generally have like a sleep deficiency or a good eating deficiency. Background.
I'm just curious because the amount of calories you're talking about and the amount of sugar, even though it's natural, I mean, you're so active with now. You wouldn't recommend that for the average person because I think if somebody ate 30 bananas a day and all the dates and everything, they put on weight.
Yeah, that's what you'd think, but it's not what happens. Like, look at I mean, I am active, yeah, I'm very sedentary. Like, if you talk to my training partners in Australia, like, Harley never shows up to training. He comes like once a month. He's like, what's he doing? If it rains, he doesn't come out training. If it's too cold, he stays in bed. But he looks like a Tour de France rider all year long. How is that? Because I eat differently to them.
But do you think that
if you eat like a fruitarian, you look like a fruitarian.
But do you think it's individual? Do you think that somebody else people would react differently?
Not at all.
Like, do you think anybody could eat 25 or 30 bananas a day plus like all the dates and pounds of melon?
Yeah, as much as you want. The thing with fruit is self-limiting. Fruit's not like a Pop-Tart where it's like, just hyper-stimulating. Like, you watch kids that eat fruit and they'll eat the fruit, it'll be done. And then throw a Pop-Tart on the table. See what happens. They'll make room for that. They'll be like, or something with salt and MSG on it. They'll make room for that. Because those foods are very stimulating. And that's why people get bigger and bigger, because eating all this food is normally loaded with fat. It's the fat you eat, it's the fat you wear. So when fruit and vegetables are very low stimulating. Very like I was eating a salad last night, thinking, well, if I put some tomato on this, I could eat the whole bucket. But without it, I'm tapping out. Same with fruit. Like fruit versus like a chocolate, like a fatty, super high calorie thing. You top out in fruit.
Yeah, that's true.
So people
you eat
often,
until you're full.
That's interesting because I made a big bowl. I had this huge peach last night, and I cut it off, and I had some other fruit, and I couldn't believe it. I was so unbelievably stuffed. Like I couldn't. But you're right. If it were chocolate, I would have managed to eat more.
bingo, because fruit per calorie, like per bite, is very low. Compared to like chocolate. Like a block of chocolate can be like 1,000 calories. Mostly from fat, versus 1,000 calories from fruit is pretty hard to eat. And then do it consistently. My mum, she can knock back 3,000 calories of chocolate in a night. And that's why she looks that way. But I give her bananas, and she maybe has 2 bananas. She goes, I can't even have one. Whew, can't even have a banana. And I'm like, Mum, so people often say that there's too much sugar, there's too many calories. It's like, okay, that's the theory, let's judge by results though. Let's look at all the long-term crazy fruitarian freaks. Even if they're eating a bit of rice here and there, whatever. Anyone who's high-carb, vegan, low-fat is going to be slim over time. It might take them a year, or depends where they start at. But over time, there's a guy at the camp, Richard, is 560 pounds or whatever. He was 617, I think now he's down to 517. Eventually, he's just going to drop right down to 160. 100% if he sticks with the lifestyle. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of just when. But people might see him go, wow, I met this guy who's like 515 pounds and he's a fruitarian or whatever. But they don't see the bigger picture, if that makes sense. Just like if you go to a gym and you'll see someone pumping iron or whatever, and you see them, well, they're not getting any results, but they might have just started. But then you see them 10 years down the track or whatever. So is it too many calories? No way. It's just like, if I stopped training, I wouldn't really look much different at all. I'll probably have less tan maybe. Seriously, if you look, it's same with Freely. Everyone knows my partner Freely. We keep her training level down so she doesn't get too emaciated. We want to keep a bit of curve on it because it's good for the movement. So we keep her, training very low, just enough to be healthy but not too much. We don't want to get her too lightweight. Same with myself. I could do more training and get a lot fitter, which I probably will eventually, but I'll get way lighter.
But I mean, if you're eating 5,000 calories a day, you have to get some of that energy out. Otherwise, you're not going to have that balance.
You can't eat 5,000 calories a day unless you've got energy output from fruit, because the fruit's not stimulative. You have to have either high stress or high physical output to have that much calories every day from fruit.
Right, okay.
Because like when I'm doing YouTube, I'm just smashing on the net for 12 hours a day. For me, it's like running a marathon. You're just using your eyes and creativity and passion and everything. And I can't do that unless I'm getting the calories in. By doing that passionate lifestyle, you want to eat more. Because you have to maintain the output, if that makes sense. Same with if I'm running a race, I have to have the calories to be able to punch it in. So in a relationship, or employment, or sport, you need the calories. But fruit, you can't eat 5,000 calories a day from fruit if you're sitting around and just going, watch the little stealing over there. There's a little squirrel. You're not expending it, so you won't have the appetite for it. Just as a squirrel won't need as many calories when it's hibernating, just sitting there like that. Versus when it's out in the forest, like you're running from the red-tailed hawk, or it's going to need more calories because it's doing more. So people are often afraid, I'm afraid to eat more calories. It's like, whoa, just get used to eating calories from things that are going to make you fat. If it's not going to be from fruit, or maybe rice, it's going to be from other things that are going to blow out hormones and do all sorts of crazy things. That's what the Woodstock Fruit Festival, when you had the closing ceremony, all the fruit promoters, all us crazy people on the stage, everyone's slim. We all looked like we could run fast marathons, but there's only 2 marathon runners in the whole 20 people or whatever. So that's the thing, is we're naturally designed to be slim, and fruit is our natural food. And you don't have to train. I mean, being fit is healthy. We need to move the body. The lymphatic system, we need to move. We need to get sun, we need to get sweat, we need to get out there and do it. But for weight loss, you don't need to do that. You can just eat. You can eat the body slim. But you won't be healthy if you don't move. It's like putting a squirrel in the cage. You can feed the squirrel this squirrel diet, but if the squirrel doesn't get activity, it won't be a healthy squirrel, even though it's eating the best food. If you eat the best food ever and don't move your body, you won't be healthy, even though you're eating the best food ever, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So it's food and sport, food and movement, food and sleep, food and water, food and fun.
What about teeth? You hear a lot about people. It's the big question.
I can't do a fruitarian diet because your teeth fall out. It's like, well, again, if fruit was bad for teeth, I shouldn't have any teeth based on how much fruit I eat. Neither should Doug Graham, neither should anyone. We should lose our teeth like in the first month or year. Because with the crazy amount of fruit we're eating, it should be gone. Little stubs, toothless little... That's what it should be like if what they say is true, but the reality is, dentists are everywhere. There must be a lot of fruitarians around. Because every city has dentists, every mall has a dentist. You ride your bike down New York City, the bus comes past you with a big Sensodyne, advertisement on the back. Well, here's a dental clinic in Manhattan, 50% off, this week only. Just for the fruitarians. In a small clause. So, again, it's like fruit makes you fat, fruit rots your teeth out, fruit gives you diabetes, fruit gives you cancer, fruit makes you insane, fruit turns your eyes into purple polka dots, whatever. Again, it's just, maybe you get a few people shooting up meth, and they're like, I'm going to live on, tomatoes for 6 months, and their teeth are already shagged anyway, and then their teeth fall out, they meet someone, and they're like, oh, you eat bananas, I won't talk about the meth addiction or your anorexia, because that will make you use more energy. I'll talk about the diet. It's easy for a professional doctor or whatever to talk about someone's diet versus address their personal issues. It's a lot easier. It's a lot, because when you're doing a personal insult, like you've got anorexia, you're doing meth, you shouldn't do that. Versus, you're eating weird. We change your diet. So teeth then, it's bogus. Because look at the root canals, and when you're a Hollywood celebrity, the first thing you do is get your teeth done. Tom Cruise, the Oasis guy, Megan Fox, everyone gets their teeth done. It's like, they're not fruitarians though.
Transition towns trying to get people here to grow pawpaw, persimmons, hardy kiwi, local fruit. Doug Graham told me a lot of places are pulling out fruit because they don't want people to pick it or it falls on the ground. Do you know any people who are actively, like I was thinking with the festival, each person put in an extra $5, I don't know, start planting trees. I know there are people doing it, but do you know of some, and is there a way to encourage this more?
I think the biggest thing we need to do is not plant more trees, but get more people eating fruit. Because people, you can plant a tree, but who's going to eat it? Who's going to care for it? It's like, there's a tree, it's fruit, wash your teeth out. Just get rid of the thing, kick it down. So what we want to do is promote fruit consumption. When you create the demand, supply follows. When I walk in and throw down the money at Whole Foods for the Santa Claus melon, that's more powerful than me planting those Santa Claus melon seeds in Central Park. For someone to walk along one day and go, oh, that's a weird looking melon, what is that thing? I've never seen that before, I'm not going to eat that. So that's the secret, I think, is promoting fruit consumption. I mean, we don't need more fruit trees. First, we need more fruit eaters, and then the trees will follow. That makes sense. So there's plenty of fruit trees around that are just not getting used because people are, fruit makes you fat or whatever. I'd rather eat a Snickers bar.
Now, the thing is, I mean, you hear about a lot of poverty in Haiti. I mean, I don't know, when I eat my Haitian mangoes, which I love, am I robbing them from a Haiti? The ethics of things of avoiding animals or having it sugary, but I like to know that, first of all, it's not being transported and using all that oil, and second of all, that if someone's making money, I have no problem with that, but if the people where it's coming from are starving, I don't know how to reconcile.
When you're supporting fruit forests around the world, you're supporting trees in that community. That's the best thing you can do. People say using oil, it's like, I'd rather have trees around the world and use oil than have no trees and no oil. You know, it's like crazy. So if we're all going to use oil, there's no doubt about it. Like, this is how it is. Like the people in power ain't going to stop doing it. Like I can be in my little Fruitopia world and go, I'm going to change it, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, man. People would rather die than change their diet most of the time. So what we can do is go, the system's in place, let's use the system to change the system, let's put our money and buy the quality mangoes from people in Haiti or Thailand or whatever, let's get the fruit out here, let's eat it. Those people will go, wow, they're selling fruit to the US. So that must be a good thing to eat. Maybe we should start eating more of that. Versus go, I'm going to boycott that because that's imported. So now that farm in Mexico goes, oh, I've lost my job now I go back to doing crack cocaine or prostitution or whatever, because no one wants to buy my fruit because it's imported. And now there's a stigma about eating imported fruit because there's some guys who are importing cacao saying, don't buy bananas because they're from Ecuador, buy my cacao. Oh, it's from Ecuador, shh, don't tell anyone, Dave Wolf. So it's total nonsense. So I definitely think that when you buy imported fruit, you're supporting farms outside your community. The world is our community.
Today,
we like to pretend, I just live in Adelaide, Australia, so I only buy local and everyone else can get jacked. It's like, this is the planet. There's no community really, this is the one big community. And I think people forget that. Like, so when you're supporting fruit in Haiti, mangoes, it's awesome because you're supporting trees there.
What about the fact that some of them are irradiated? I mean, that's what you hear about the papayas. I don't know how to find out about that.
It will taste like crap. It won't ripen up. Irradiated fruit will not ripen. Example being, you put a banana in the oven, you cook it, it's not going to ripen up. You know,
I heard they irradiate the bananas because there's deadly spiders in them.
No, they do not irradiate bananas. That would be, the banana would not ripen up.
Really?
Maybe that irradiates mangosteens. That's why you see a mangosteen, you crack it open, it's like a,
spider web.
That's the reason, because you can't see it. They're inside the...
They don't irradiate bananas. That's bunk. When you irradiate something, you cook it. Cooked food will not ripen.
Well, what about the mangoes, though? They say that all imported mangoes are cooked, that they're boiled.
They hot water treat them, which again is bunk because I've worked on organic mango farms in Australia, and they dunk the mangoes in a hot water solution, which is designed to kill the fruit fly larvae, the eggs. But the mangoes still ripen up. The seeds will still sprout. Like, if it's cooked, it won't ripen up. So yeah, it's hot water treated, some people say it's been cooked, but it hasn't because it will still ripen up. So
it's not hot enough to be cooked.
No way. Because, again, if it was, the mango wouldn't ripen up. We could get a green mango, put it in the microwave and zap it, it's not going to ripen up. It's dead. Finished. Like a potato, you cook a potato, it's not going to grow.
I noticed some peaches, when you get them, they're hard as a rock, and they don't really ripen. When they sort of do ripen, they're all
crap.
Grown on the inside.
Just poor quality fruit. Most fruit is grown for colour. Because most people buy fruit at the supermarket, they got their little cart walking around eating all the crap, and they go, oh, I don't want to get to the checkout register and I want to be healthy, so I'll buy a couple of peaches and a bit of collards. I'll throw that in the bin anyway later, but that makes me look like a healthy consumer. Because I've got my 3 veg and 2 fruits for my family for a week. And so most fruit gets grown for people to just go, this is my little token gesture for health. I'm not going to eat it because it tastes like crap, but I'll spend $5 a week on the fruit, pretend I eat it, and just throw it out later on. But so, take it back. So I bought this food to eat this, but it's inedible. Can I have my money back? Can I choose something else? And then that way, more people who do that, the farmers will get that feedback going, hey, guys, your fruit doesn't get sold. Everyone brings it back. We're losing money on your fruit. Please do something with your fruit because it tastes like crap. And the more people that do that, you have to cause a protest. You can just go back and say, hey, this fruit was bad, man. And in the US, the customer service here is so good. In Australia, it might be a bit of an issue, but the US is like 100% guarantee. If you don't like it, bring it back. So everyone's a fool to not bring something back that wasn't good quality.
I find a lot of avocado, they're black in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, maybe you can scrape a little bit out or whatever. It depends on the individual fruit. Yeah, sometimes avocado gets a little bit of bruising inside. You just scrape it out and the rest of it's fine. So it depends on the fruit. If a peach is bad, it's bad. And avocado might be bruised. You can just cut a little bit out, whatever. So it depends on the fruit.
Is dark chocolate good to eat?
Dark chocolate. I mean, it's
Especially a cocoa?
compared to what, I guess, compared to charcoal, it's pretty good.
Charcoal?
Charcoal. I mean, some people say charcoal's healthy, some people say dark chocolate's healthy. I say they're both poisonous. But if you only ate charcoal a few times a year, if you only ate chocolate a few times a year, it's probably not going to hurt you. Just like if you only smoke cigarettes a few times a year, probably not going to hurt you too much. But I'd definitely say chocolate isn't a health food. Because chocolate contains the poison, the neurotoxin called theobromine, which is a neurotoxin, meaning it kills brain cells. So if you're going to have chocolate, make sure it's either very rarely. If you want something sweet, eat fruit. Have those dates on the cucumber.
Well, the dark chocolate, you get it unsweetened for the cocoa.
The sugar is the good thing in chocolate. That's the healthiest part of chocolate is the sugar. Not the theobromine, not the dairy, not the oil. The healthiest part of this chocolate is the sugar. Sugar doesn't contain a neurotoxin, theobromine. Cacao does. Dairy contains cholesterol, heart disease. Sugar doesn't have that. Sugar's just sugar. No cholesterol, no theobromine, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, sugar's not healthy because it has no nutrients with it, but it's definitely healthier than theobromine, cacao, caffeine, cancer. So I'd say eat fruit when it's sweet.
Is there such thing as too much sugar from having fruit, and does that affect the adrenal glands, adrenal fatigue?
The only time there's too much sugar is if you're like trying to eat 70 bananas in 3 minutes, and that won't be too much sugar.
Would you crash? Is that...
Look up what's that video I did? I think Fruitarian dies from sugar rush or something like that. Well, wearing a bike helmet. I think it was Fruitarian dies from sugar overdose. I did a video about that. Like today, I went to bed at 2 o'clock last night, just late nights, and today I'm riding in New York City, just almost falling asleep. Eating my fruit, just out of it. Not because of the fruit, just because I'm not getting enough sleep. So what people will do is they'll change their diet, but they're up late at night on our forum, 30bananasaday.com, at 3 a.m. just going, information, then they try to do the lifestyle, and it's I'm not feeling too well. But they forget about the sleep. So you can't eat too much sugar, ever. But you can eat too fast. Like the foods are so good, you just like whacking it down, oh, it doesn't feel too good. It wasn't too much sugar, it was too much too fast. Just like you can eat too late at night and go to bed on a full stomach. It wasn't too much sugar, it's just you ate too late at night. You can eat fruit too close to doing some yoga or something intense. It wasn't too much sugar, it's just too much food when your stomach's trying to breathe. So you can't eat too much sugar from fruit, ever. Like we have over 100 trillion cells in our body. 100 trillion cells, that's like nuts. and they all run on glucose. So for anyone to say we need less sugar, it's like, well, they don't understand what the body needs for fuel, glucose. So glucose is our preferred fuel, and if life wants to be sweet, it needs to be fruit. Sweet is what we're designed to eat. Like human mother's breast milk is sweet. And when people try and cut sweet out of the diet, that's like the fastest way to an eating disorder, or to see disordered eating.
But isn't that kind of like a con, because if you're eating like carbs, your body's going to convert that over to glucose anyway. So
Yeah.
It's a question of the time. So you're going to get sugar, what they call sugar.
For sure, like.
It's just to refine. If you're eating whole food with fiber, you know, you don't really get that sugar rush. But if you separate it by juicing, you're going to get, you know, fiber. It's going to hit your system.
And again, a lot of people's issues with sugar is eating too much fat in their diet.
Yeah.
They're having a lot of avocados, they're having a lot of oil, or they're not moving their body. They're the caged squirrel. And then they're blaming the squirrel food, but the cage is the danger. The sedentary lifestyle is the danger. The fear of, you know, picking something off the floor or walking on the block, that's the danger. That's the excess fat people are eating because they're trying to cut out the sugar, so then they're hungry, they're like, now have more avocados, gotta have more cashews, gotta have more macadamias, gotta have more olive oil in it, organic olive oil, it's local, it's healthy. But it's not. So the issues with sugar is primarily fat consumption. People are eating excess levels of fat. Sedentaryism, they're just like, they're not healthy because they're not moving their body. And probably one of the biggest ones would be not enough sleep. So nothing's working properly. We need, sugar is our fuel, and sleep is like the battery. It's like a car. You can have your car full of gasoline, but if the battery's dead, you ain't go nowhere. You can be full of glycogen, full of carbohydrates, but if you don't get enough sleep, your nerve energy for your organs to work won't be there. You won't have as much snap. Like today on the train, I had a little power nap because I knew tonight that I needed to give to people. I've got enough sugar for it, but the nerve energy wasn't really there. That's probably why I'm slowing my speech a bit. So I had a little power nap on the train just to charge up the nerve energy. That go.
Like if you want to make a transition, right? Because I find bananas to be the cheapest. You know, when you say 30 bananas a day, do you mean like I could just eat bananas, like no starch? I could just, if you want to make a slow transition, because I find when I look into all these fruits, I get a little overwhelmed, especially in balancing with how many calories I'm having and whatnot. So I find banana would probably be the easiest for me, and it fills me up fast.
Definitely.
So if I wanted to just do banana just to start off the process, like, are you saying eat 30, 40 bananas for the whole day?
Eat as much as you want of bananas. I think, personally, banana is the most perfect food for humans. Because the digestion is incredible, especially when it's ripe and spotty. The taste is good, the caloric content of it is good, it's filling, it's satiating, it's pretty easy to get, especially in the US. So eat as much bananas as you want, 30 a day, 40 a day, 50 a day. And every banana is about 100 calories.
So you're saying like, okay, if I did that, don't worry about the salad, the greens.
You'll start craving that later on. Like, I want some salad, I want something salty and crunchy, I want some cucumbers. Right. Your bananas can be a staple. Your bananas can be a canvas, and then you can throw some tomatoes in there later on. But as long as you got that canvas there, as long as you get that foundation, you're set.
Okay, so that's, you build upon that foundation.
Yeah. The bananas is like your staple. Like in China, rice is the staple. They don't just eat rice, they eat most of the rice. Then they throw in a bit of veggies and other things. But the less rice they eat, the more they eat from the meat group, and then the less health they have. So the more you eat from the fruit group, the better you're going to feel in this lifestyle. That makes sense. So bananas and dates are the rice and pasta of this lifestyle. Every successful culture on earth has lived on starch, carbohydrate. Because starch is easy to get. In times of war, you can get all your tons of wheat or barley and stash it. But if you've got a fruit forest going on, all your enemies have to do is just ring bark the trees. And that cuts your food supply. So starch is definitely the food that's gotten society where it's at today because of its storage ability, cooking ability, caloric ability. Yet fruit is superior from a nutritional perspective.
Well, can I ask another question? So let's say, okay, I'm doing the 30 or more bananas a day. And you know, you may have one of those days where you happen to crave, you know, cooked food. If I decided, like, let's say I ate 40 bananas during the day, but later that night I want to eat a bowl of rice, would that be too many calories because it's food plus the food?
Not at all. Eat it. Eat as much rice as you want. Fruit, you'll find fruit's going to work better for you, but if you're eating steamed rice, no one got fat or sick off steamed rice. It's the stuff they add to it. It's the chicken breast, it's the oil, it's this excess salt. A lot of people's weight issues, they're eating a lot of salt, but they're not pushing it out. Like if I started eating a lot of salt, and it wasn't moving my body, just boom, boom, I could put on 20 pounds pretty easily from salt, just pure salt retention. So a lot of people are having salt all their life, but they're never really sweating it out. So it's just sitting on their body. And it looks like fat, it feels like fat, it jiggles like fat, but it's not fat, it's just salt retention. That's why a lot of my model friends, before they get a photo shoot, they'll cut salt out of their diet for 2 weeks just to suck right up. So salt can be an issue for people, but it won't be too many calories if you have a bowl of rice at night. Definitely, it's what you put on that rice that's going to be the question. Oil, or a lot of salt, or animal products. So I definitely say, but maybe just do it for 30 days. Maybe just try and do 100% fruit and vegetables for 30 days. And write down what you ate that day and how you felt the next day. And then you work out a template of calories you need for your lifestyle. Because it might be more or less than what I need. And then you write that, you form a template. It's really basic math. If I can do it, if I can work out the math, it's very easy. Anyone can. I'm not a smart guy at all.
Is it possible that you could give, like, I don't know if it varies for everybody else, but let's say you're about 20, 30 pounds overweight. If you transition to this diet, how quickly do you think you could probably drop that if you would actually do it 100%?
Well, again, it depends on the person's lifestyle. Like, is it fat they have to lose, or is it actually sodium? Is it 20 pounds of sodium retention? Is it 20, 30 pounds of muscle they want to lose? Because weight can be fat, it can be bone, it can be muscle, it can be water retention, salt retention. So often people get confused. I want to lose weight or I want to gain weight. So what do we want to lose or gain? Fat, fluid, blood, muscle. So it depends how I want to take to lose 30 pounds of fat. It depends on the person's lifestyle. It's going to happen though. Like you slim right down. Most people's long-term issue with the fruit-based lifestyle is they get too thin. I said to Freddie one time, I said, there's going to come a time where you're going to get too skinny on this lifestyle. She's like, that will never happen. And it's happening now. So definitely it's, people try and rush it though, but it's like you trying to rush a 7-year-old kid to look like a 12-year-old kid, so you tie him up in the basement and trying to stretch him out. So just leave it alone, nature will do its thing, and eventually things go in or out, depending if they need to do it.
Sometimes though you get too skinny, and then over time it changes. Because I lost a lot of weight, and like everybody around me was freaking out, telling me I was emaciated. And like I didn't do anything differently afterwards. But over time I put the weight back on.
Yeah. So that can happen as well. Sometimes people just suck right in. There's a lot of variables. It's hard for me to generalise, but what I can honestly 100%, 1000% say is nobody on this lifestyle is not slim long term. Some people might have more tone because they're doing more sport, but they'll all be in the same diameter. Some people might look fitter, they have better posture, they have more muscle definition because they use their muscles more, but everyone will be slim.
People who are either running or biking distance, how do you maintain during the race? Do you have a camelback? Do you bring dates? What are you doing throughout the race to?
So I like to eat about 4 or 5 dates per hour.
So you carry around a pack?
I have a little cycling jersey, and
cycling jersey.
In the back of the jersey you have like 3 pockets, and you can put 15 dates in each pocket, so you've got 45 dates, so it'll keep you going for 10 hours. Dates and water is my preferred fuel source.
So you have a camelback?
No, I just use this bottle here, which is a camelback bottle, but...
But you run with that? I mean, that's for a bike, but for running.
Most races I do, they have aid stations with water.
Yeah.
But let's say I'm going for a long run or a long hike, then I'll have a little belt strap, and then my bottle slips in the back of that. I can fill my pockets with dates. So another thing that you've raised there is water. Drink enough water so your urine is clear. Clear urine is what we want to go for. At least 2 or 3 hours, we want to be urinating. If you go longer than 3 hours without having a wee, you need more water.
What if you're going very frequently?
If you're going every 20 minutes, that can be very common when we go from high potassium, then we go from the high sodium diet to high potassium, and our body's just flushing all that salt retention out. Just you're just like peeing on the gardens like non-stop all
So
the
it'll
time.
lessen if you just eat more fruit?
Pardon?
So frequent urination, that will lessen if you eat more fruit?
Depends what, my definition of frequent urination is like every 30 minutes you have in a week.
Every 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, so that's the body just getting rid of all the salt, just popping it all out. And then eventually, if you keep on the low sodium end of things, it'll start to go down to every 2 or 3 hours you'll be weaned.
Well, we found the cure, I think.
Yeah, but definitely the high salt diet is people just retain all this sodium. When they cut the salt out or cut it right down, the body goes, let's get rid of it, it's toxic, we don't want it. Right.
What if you drink like a liter of water in the morning and then you're going to school or something and you're in the car for an hour?
I have a little wee bottle in the car.
Yeah, it doesn't work for girls.
Then
Oh,
you got the what's called the sheep pea for women. Yeah, do look it up, sheep pea. I won't get into the details, but look it up and you can win a bottle. It's a good party trick. So I would say, again, we live in a society where we used to have slaves and now we have workers. The slaves are gone, the workers are in. You gotta go to the toilet again, you're eating again. Look, like it's a world we have to change the lifestyle, because if we, I think I give the advice to people, but there's no way they can do it because their occupation doesn't allow it. Like they're like, you got a 30-minute lunch break. I've got to go to Whole Foods and they don't have any right. I've got to no, it's 30-minute lunch break or whatever. It's like it's a crazy world we're living in. So it's about forming a template in your lifestyle where you can make this work. Be it being hydrated, being fit, getting to sleep. And everyone's got different lifestyles, you know. So it's just about being savvy and smart. There's always a way to sort of, you know, get it in there. It's like when I'm in Thailand and I'm on a 4-hour bus trip, I'll have a juice bottle because I know that there's one toilet break maybe. Because Thailand, there's some of them stop the bus, some of them they don't. So I bring a little empty juice bottle on the bus with me, so my bladder doesn't go pop. Or, so that would be my issue when we're in Thailand. Sometimes the bus doesn't stop, so I need to have a wee bottle with me. And yeah.
I've embarrassed my kids.
Hydration. And if you go hang out with horses or cattle,
Yeah.
they're always weeing.
Are they?
All the time. Yeah. Always weeing. So it's natural to your body be passing things out.
Doug says that you should definitely be urinating at least 9 to 12 times a day.
For sure, and even a few times a night. I know if I'm not weeing at night time, I'm dehydrated. The day tomorrow won't be as good as it would be if I'm filling up a 64-ounce bottle of wee a night. I have a little juice bottle every night, and Freely has a pot, and we tip it in the garden in the morning. I know if I'm not weeing at night time, I'm redlining it with dehydration. For the lifestyle I want to live, for the energy and consistency, I need to be weeing at night time.
You ever have nuts and grains?
Nuts and grains? I mean, they're good foods, but when it comes to fruit, no way. They're not as good. Grains are better than nuts because nuts are very fatty. So if you could eat grains every day and still be very successful with health. If you eat nuts every day as your staple of calories, your health's going to drop right down. Why? Because nuts are too high in fat.
Well, Doug has that book out, no grains.
Yeah, grain damage. Yeah, so that's why I say grains are good, but compared to fruit, they're not as good. But me and Doug differ here in that I won't go out there and definitely bag grains because I've lived the grain diet for a long time. It's very good, but it's not as good as fruit. But if I tell people don't eat grains, just eat fruit, what are they going to eat when they don't get fruit? They go back to what they used to do. So I like to give people a backup plan. Me, I'd definitely eat grains in a heartbeat if I was in a prison or cycling on my bike across Australia and that's all I had. Here's another one. If I was in a prison, they said, hey, banana boy, we're going to feed you raw food diet, but we're going to torture you and feed you nuts and raw food gourmet, but it's all going to be raw, local, organic, or we're going to feed you rice, beans and soy sauce. What's it going to be? I mean, I would go, give me the rice, beans and soy sauce and you can give that raw food gourmet to the noobs. Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
What about quinoa? Because you're mentioning rice, but isn't that better than rice?
eat whatever starch works for you. Some people might be quinoa, millet, amaranth, oats, barley, millet, potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams,
What if-
plantain.
They say, well, the white potato has too much sugar, so you don't buy that either. I mean,
It's all
the
nonsense.
Irish ate potatoes.
Yeah, when you think of the Irish, you think of those lean warrior guys, you know. Traditionally, the coal workers, it's the whole starch makes you fat, sugar makes you fat is 99% of the authors out there who say sugar makes you fat. We've got Sally Fallon, lovely person, overweight. Dr. Atkins, dead, lovely person, dead obese, 258 pounds. Sugar makes you fat though. Dr. Atkins said, eat lots of fat, but then he died obese. You know, you got the guy Wheat Belly, Dr. Davis, fat, nice guy though. And wheat makes you fat, but he's got a big. He's got a book called Wheat Belly, and he's got a I call it a beef belly. And just because he's overweight doesn't make him a bad person, but it's like people are so like I don't know what it is, undercarb or underslept. They can't see the blatant contradiction in these authors saying, you know, always follow who said that, and they go, well, how come you're overweight still? You know, like people will go on stage and go, don't eat fruit, it's got too much sugar. Don't eat starch, it's got too much sugar. Eat fat, and they look like they need to lose some pounds. So potatoes don't make you fat. And I said it to someone one time. They're like, "Hey, I'm getting fat in potatoes. I'm eating like 6 or 7 packets of fries a day at McDonald's." True story. They're like, I said potatoes, man, not fries. Like fries is like 50% calories from fat. Potatoes is like 1-2% calories from fat. Yeah. And they're like, I can't eat steamed potatoes. That's disgusting. I'm like, exactly. That's why you're obese. You know, so people will say, oh, like my mum. I'm going to joke with my mum. Like, I can't eat rice to make me fat. And I'm like, how much rice do you eat, mum? Yeah. Oh, I hardly eat it. How much fruit do you eat, mum? Oh, I don't eat much fruit. It's an apple here and there. Too much sugar make me fat. I'm like, mum, but you're obese. What are you eating?
What about white rice?
Same thing. You got to like totally lean food. I mean, brown rice has got more nutrients in it. Probably got to digest better. It's got more fibre in there. But if we're talking fat and weight loss, people just go to China or Thailand, and everyone's slim who lives on white rice and vegetables. And the people who eat the meat and dairy, you can spot them. You can spot them walking in the street because they're like double the size. And you go to the restaurants over there and you watch people eat, and it's this big bowl of white rice with maybe a little bit of a frog leg on there, and some greens, and they're just slim as big bowls of white rice. And fruit when they want something sweet. Carbs don't make you fat, because if carbs make people fat, I'd be obese. All the fruitarian people would be obese. All the rice promoters like Dr. McDougall, Neil Bernard, Pam Potter, Ruth Hine, all these high carb crazy vegans out there would be obese, eating that much carbohydrate. China would be obese, Thailand would be obese, Indonesia would be obese. All that white rice they eat, all that refined white rice, they should be obese, but they're not, until they get the money, and then the money lets them buy the meat and steak and the dairy and the eggs. If you're living in Indonesia, you're earning less than $2 a day. You can't afford to buy chickens on $2 a day. All you can afford is rice and vegetables and fruit, and maybe a piece of fish that someone left over. So it's definitely carbs are key, and fruit's the top. Fruit's the champion. Starch is a backup plan. Starch feeds the army because you can store it, but fruit's the best, definitely.
So if I could relocate anywhere in the world, what would you recommend is the best place for year-round fruits and vegetables?
Chanterbury, Thailand.
Chanterbury?
Chanterbury, Thailand. It's where they grow more durian than anywhere in the world. And Chanterbury, Thailand is a place that, if you go there without a bicycle, you think this is some hole, it's disgusting, it's noisy. When you ride your bicycle around this place in Thailand, you can literally ride 30 miles in either direction, and all you're going to see is fruit farms. It's insane. And so anyone who says a fruit model doesn't work, you go to Chanterbury, Thailand, and you see these diverse fruit orchards. Yeah, there's a lot of chemical ones as well, but you see the organic ones. That's just incredible. So Chanterbury, Thailand is a fruit culture. And
How different English speaking? You're okay?
If you got money, you're okay. Yeah. But they're friendly, they're accommodating. But not much English. But everything's written down in prices already. So 20, 30, and everything's measured in kilos, and the numbers, the coins that will have English numbers in there, and all the signs in English as well. So it's easy. If I can do it, anyone can.
How expensive is it?
The average income in Thailand is about $7 a day.
Is 7 what a day?
$7 a day is average income in Thailand. So it can be very cheap. I lived in Canterbury. Freddie and I rented a place for, I think it was like $35 a month for accommodation. And we literally lived in the village outside of the town. Like, we lived in a place where the locals were like, what's going on here? Like, why are you guys living in our little village? They were totally cool with it. They're just like shocked. Like, why would you want to live here? And we're like, because we want to experience Thailand. And when we left that little village, we bought like $50 worth of durian and just lined up everyone's durian on their doorstep at night time. Because everyone goes to sleep really early in Thailand because they don't really can afford electricity. So everyone's going to bed at sundown or nearabouts. So we snuck at night time, put durians in everyone's front door, and we moved out the next day or that night or whatever it was. So when they woke up, they had durians. Because the durian can be very expensive for a Thai over there.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Can you spell that?
Chant, so CHANT, HABURI. It's near Cambodia. It's in the east.
Thanks.
So it's not with a C, it's with a C versus a K. There's another town called Kanchanaburi. But that's with the bridge over the River Kwai. That's a tourist town. It's not as good. Chanterbury with C. C.
Canterbury and where else?
Chanterbury, yeah. Thailand. That's the best place.
That's the main place.
The US is really good as well. The US is very good for fruit. But in terms of Western world, I'd say US, and followed by probably Europe, and Australia would be like way down the list. And for anywhere, it would be Chanterbury. Better than Costa Rica, definitely. Better than Ecuador, way better.
Wow.
Way better. Because Chanterbury produces more fruit than anywhere in the world. Thailand produces more fruit than anywhere in the world. So you've got that fruit culture, that sugar culture. Thailand is like a sugar culture. They put sugar on everything. You know, they're just slim people. Sugar on rice, sugar on fruit. And you go in the country Thailand, no one's running marathons. They ride motorbikes everywhere. You know, or sometimes a little bicycle, but they pedal so slowly, you're thinking, I'll come back this afternoon, you'll still be riding in the same street. But so they're not doing crazy athletics yet, they're slim. Why? High carbohydrate, low fat diet. Not by choice, but just by necessity, by culture, by default. People go, that's genetic though. There's skinny Thais. Put that Thai into New York City or Australia. They become the Thai.
Right.
Yeah, not the Thai. It's like the Thai slim and Thai's the big Michelin person. So it's not genetics, it's diet.
Can you get greens there?
You can get greens, yeah, for sure.
When making a transition, are there any common negative side effects that we should worry about?
Just people giving you a hard time. Yeah, that's the biggest one. Again, it depends if a person's giving up heroin, they get the shakes. If someone's giving up, caffeine, they can get a full-on migraine. And by understanding that, then you go, oh, I've got a headache today, it's going to pass maybe in a week or whatever, I don't know. But in terms of from eating fruit, then there's no contraindications there. There's no. Sometimes people get maybe a bit of diarrhea or that their stomach feels a bit iffy for a little bit because the fruit's pushing through some old stuff. But it's nothing hardcore. It's nothing anyone's going to need to take time off work from.
So could we start off with like a detox?
Fruit's the detox.
More just fruit?
Just
or
fruit,
more
yeah.
juices to start off?
No, you just go straight into the fruit. Fruit's the cleanest food in the planet.
Easy, simple.
It's like, it's like running a marathon before the marathon starts in the morning. It's like you don't need, the marathon's enough, the fruit's enough. Often people who promote the cleanses are promoting the anti-fruit diet. So they're promoting like the nut diet or the bacon diet, the heavy diet, and you have to do like a cleanse because you're feeling so crap from it. A lot of people out there sell the issue, then they sell an antidote. So they'll promote a diet that makes you like adrenal burnout because it's so greasy and fatty, and then they'll sell you cacao to like spike you up again. So they sell a diet that results in deficiency, energy deficiency, whatever, and then they'll sell a supplement or some stimulant to get you going again. Like the paleo diet sells you you know, sells you the bacon egg lifestyle, and then they sell you all these supplements and sweet treats and stuff like that. Stevia powders, because you're going to be craving so much sweet, they sell you some stevia powder on a paleo primal diet. So it's some interesting marketing models out there that I think, you know, pretty dangerous, pretty poor.
What is your take like on the liver cleanse, the gallbladder cleanse, all these different cleanses, like, you know, the liver cleanse with like drinking like a cup of olive oil and all this?
It's just a magic show. Like, if you drink olive oil, it's going to solidify in your gut, and you're going to poop it out, or if you have bentonite clay, it's not some parasite that came out. It's just, if you have those little gallstones and put them on your car dashboard, they'll melt away as oil, you know, to be oily. If you had them tested in the lab, they would just be olive oil. So I believe that the healthy lifestyle, the healthy diet, that's the ultimate cleanse. That's what we're designed to do. Often people treat the cause, well, they forget the cause, they just treat the symptom with a magic show trick. Most people would rather die or do some gimmick than change their diet. It's easier to fool people than convince them they've been fooled. It's easy for me to sell a little cleanse or a little gimmick than to say, no, you've been fooled, that's the whole joke. It's easy for me to make money. Buy this little supplement, it's a superfood powder just tonight only, 50% off. It's easy for me to do that than to tell people the truth. But this feels better.
Harley, you hear a lot about cancer, heart disease. What about autoimmune disease and thyroid and things like that?
Again, it comes down to sleep, water, sugar. The person who's not getting enough sleep, like I'm eating healthy now, I'm hydrated, but I'm not getting enough sleep the last 2 weeks. So that's my weakest link. So immune system is all about the lifestyle. If in doubt, just think of the little squirrel in the cage. What's the squirrel eating? Is it getting the sleep it needs? Is it getting the stresses it's not needing? Yeah. So autoimmune system, again, it's just diet, hydration, sleep, lifestyle. Often people think, oh no, it's a deficiency in Jing herb. It's not. It's never a deficiency in some herb or cleanse. It's just the lifestyle and diet needs to be addressed.
What if someone, this person I know, has been many times to detox for alcoholism? And I'm thinking sugar.
Yeah.
My son's juicing. I thought juicing, well, that's how I was trained. But what would you do for, would you recommend someone start to do a lot of fruit or something?
Well, the main reason people drink alcohol is for carbohydrates.
Right.
And people say, oh no, it's emotional. No, it's carbohydrate. That's the fundamental reason we drink alcohol is for carbs.
Right.
I see it in alcoholics all the time. You slap them some more carbs in there, their craving for alcohol goes down because the body's getting some glucose there. So most people, alcoholics, if you look at their daily carbohydrate intake, the majority is coming from alcohol. Mm-hmm. So to break that cycle is almost impossible unless you're throwing some more carbohydrates in there so the body goes, oh, we're getting some carbs. Well, giving up this alcohol is going to be easy because we're getting some fuel now.
So any fruit?
Any carbohydrate, jam, sandwiches, you know, fruit obviously being the best. But any carbohydrate, that's I mean, make that alcoholism just so easy to give up.
Now, the thing is, well, I don't know with the greens, but someone had said if you're juicing and you're on Coumadin or something, that could be a problem. Do you know anything about that? Because one helps to...
Clot blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you're eating a lot of vitamin K and you're on blood thinners, it could be a bit of a... Again, it's have to work with the doctor, it depends on the person. And it's hard to give specific advice on that because that's the person.
I understand. But a doctor, if you say you're going to eat fresh fruits and vegetables...
All you have to do is you just monitor your blood levels or whatever. And then, like insulin, you can't just pull yourself with insulin right away, you'll die. But if you work with your doctor and check your blood sugar levels, you eventually wean yourself off.
But when you're older, so you need digestive enzymes?
Scam.
What?
Scam. SCAM. It's a scam. It's just to make money on people who, like, when people eat the nut diet, they feel shocking. So the digestive enzymes are like a little placebo to make them feel better. You don't need, when you're eating clean, you won't need to eat any digestive enzymes. So it's just a scam. It's just, most of the people out there who say don't eat fruit, they'll say don't eat fruit and eat this nut diet, and take our digestive enzymes. It's just
What
crazy.
about for people who won't go to eating healthfully and they're...
They'd sell them anything.
You know, does the digestive enzyme help them?
I don't know, just make money on it. That's basically my theory, is that there's people out there who want genuine solutions, and that's what we cater for.
Because really, I mean, how could an enzyme help pizza digest anyway? You know what I mean?
If it makes them feel better about their food choice,
How
maybe.
could it help it digest, really?
It's nonsense. What I say is that there's plenty of gimmicks out there, and plenty of people who want to buy the gimmicks because they're not serious about fundamentals. So, digestive enzymes is... I used to have Crohn's disease, and I've got the best digestion ever now. With no digestive enzymes. Just good sleep, good fruit, good water, a bit of sport. Definitely.
Do you know anyone who's been helped with severe bleeding hemorrhoids?
Yeah, well, when you eat fruit, it's just everything flushes out.
And the person I'm thinking about is in their 80s, so
Of course.
and they're willing to change their diet completely, but it's so painful that it's causing a big problem.
Yeah, well, fruit is #1 colon transit food, meaning from hole to hole, it's the fastest, transfer food around. So, of course, the meat and the butter and the eggs and the oil, those foods without fibre, it's going to be sitting there stodging. So when you're on the toilet, just trying to push it all through, it's like hemorrhoid city.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Flea from the Chili Peppers?
Well, they have now.
You do.
Thanks.
I gotta go, Karen. Thank you so
Karen.
much. No problem.
I think it's after 9 o'clock.
Okay. If people want to go, that's fine. They can always email me at